5,300 kilometers east of Brussels lies a country with a troubled history, Afghanistan. What do you think when you hear Afghanistan? A failed state with no political, social, or economic infrastructure, with women barred from social life, political participation, and even education. Less than 10% of the population with access to healthcare. Expectant mothers who travel days to reach a clinic. A country isolated from the world, with a mere 1% of the population with access to telecom services. No freedom of expression. An oppressed country with no hope for the future. Sorry to disappoint you, but that was 15 years ago. Today, Afghanistan has completely transformed. Today's Afghanistan has the best platform for freedom of expression in the region, with more than 75 television channels and hundreds of radio stations and publications. The $2 billion telecom industry serves 90% of the country, and 70% of Afghans have a cell phone. The country has seen a 400% increase in the number of health facilities, and more than 65% of our people now have access to healthcare. Maternal mortality has dropped 75% since 2002, and child mortality has plummeted to less than 10%. Women are increasingly becoming full citizens, both in practice and under law. 3.5 million girls attend schools every day, and young Afghan girls have strong female role models to look up to, with women comprising 20% of the nation's health workers, 28% of the parliament, and more than 70% of school teachers. 9.4 million children are enrolled in more than 15,000 schools across every province of the country. Female leaders represent Afghanistan across the country and the world, including 4 ambassadors, 4 government ministers, 250 judges, and 2,000 members of the security forces. The economy has rebounded, with GDP expanding more than 800% since 2001, and exports at an all-time high in 2015. The armed forces work tirelessly to safeguard the country's security. The National Unity Government has been in office for just 2 years. In that time, the government has reviewed $2.5 billion in procurement contracts and saved more than $250 million in corruption. The government replaced 600 judges, including all 34 provincial judges, dismissed 20% of prosecutors for corruption, and doubled the number of anti-corruption prosecutors with the authority to investigate high-ranking government officials. I could go on, but there is much more work to be done. Afghanistan faces challenges that sometimes seem insurmountable. Though the National Unity Government is committed to the progress of the country, they are physically, politically, and fiscally constrained in what they can achieve alone. Afghanistan is on the front lines of the global fight on terror. 2016 marked the highest civilian and military casualties since 2001. Afghanistan remains the largest producer of opium in the world. Human rights abuses persist, and 46% of Afghan girls are married before the age of 18. With female illiteracy more than 80%. The economy suffers, and while it has been dramatically reduced, corruption continues to pervade the government and economy. Together, we have traveled a long road to achieve our shared objectives, but our journey is even longer. We know that the progress we have made together is fragile and reversible. We face challenges, but we are a young nation, and we are committed to working hard to make our country a better place for all Afghans. We have hope for the future, and we will never give up. But we need your generous support to continue on this path to self-reliance. Together, we can make Afghanistan a success story.